So, James, would you pass those out or have people pass them along, packet, all right? And I would ask that if you're with somebody, whether it's your spouse or a friend, can you share them? Because I think we printed out 25 or 30 of these packets. They're for you to take with you. Maria, do you have what we are going to have up on the screen? Okay. Yes. Pardon? Yes. Yes. So, a little executive privilege on this one too. Before we get into this, I just wanted to make sure the packet that you have that you can take with you, and I want to make this is one of these, hear me now, remember me later. This packet, even if this gets voted down tonight, hold on to this packet, because there are things in this packet that you may refer back to in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, when another cell tower proposal comes in this neighborhood. The first page in the packet is basically a rendition of the 1,000 feet away from the proposed site in the green and 1,000 to 2,000 feet from the site in the blue. And the red is the streets that I walked on door to door to get people's input on this. The next page in the packet is a reconciliation for your number of people. We had mailed out to 306 homes on July 11th how this process would play out in the different board meetings. We tried to mail that out after the July 3rd meeting when some of the citizens said, you know, you think you're letting people know about these things, but you really aren't. And I said, okay, I'll own that. Let's try to be uber communicative on this. And so we tried to send out to everybody that was within 2,000 feet of the proposed site. And even then, once we got into that, we figured out about a week later that we had missed LeBaron Circle, we had missed Little Bend, we had missed Majestic Way, Time, and Meadowood Drive. I walked out to LeBaron, Little Bend, and Majestic and hand-delivered that letter and to talk to people at the doors about it. Or if they weren't home, I put it in the door with a little note that said, give me a call if you have a question on this. All told, I went to 199 houses from the 19th of July, which was a Saturday morning, right up through Tuesday night. Got some incredible intel that I won't bore you with right now. Next page. This is what Verizon submitted as that same area that I just showed you on the previous 2 pages ago. This is that Wall Road to Woodhull, north and south, and Holt Road to Webster Road, 250. And all that white in there shows that there's really kind of low or no cell service. That's what it looks like now. The next page is what Verizon's engineers are saying it will look like if this tower goes in at the proposed site. And the green is coverage. I think that's it for what you have on the PDF, correct? There's 2 other pages in the packet. I'll just say that the 5th page in the packet is actually the revised letter that was, the original letter was sent out on July 11th. We revised it because on July 17th, many of you were in the room, we tabled this, so we revised it, and the blue shows the new tentative time frame of this project in which town boards. You do not have one. Did somebody not share with their spouse? Because I see you're sitting there with none. Isn't that a shame? How could that be?
There's somebody coming from the back that's willing to share.
Yeah, you can, and you know what? Honestly, take mine. All right? I don't want anybody not having it. I beg your pardon? I think it'll probably go up on the website, or maybe not, depending upon how tonight goes, because here's the thing. I have right now 24 people signed in to talk. And that's wonderful. If they all take their allotted 5 minutes, we are going to hear 2 hours of talking, okay? And that's when people, don't forget, they got to come down from the podium, somebody else has to come back in and whatever. So that's going to happen. What I would like to do is, I'm just going to query the chanters. If I show you a process tonight that you could be walking out of here in 10 minutes and this thing is dead, because why, if it's dead and it's voted down, do you need to still take the podium in your opinion? You mean if this is dead and it's not going to happen, you want to still take the podium? Well, that just gave me some clarity. All right.
I think they mean
Yeah.
this specific site.
Yeah.
This specific site.
So, I got it, and I mean, I don't think, that's good. If this specific site that is town-owned, if the seeker neg deck and or the lease doesn't get approved tonight, this site is done. If that happens, do you want to sit here for 2 hours and still take the podium? Of course you do, Rick. Okay. Okay. That's, I mean, it's different strokes, different folks. I mean, okay, I'll get to that in a second. Now, I'll get to that in a second, and I'm about to give the groundworks for how we do this meeting and the podium and who speaks, okay? So I'm going to take some executive privilege, and where are our people from Verizon tonight? Are they in the room?
They are not.
Okay.
They were.
That is unfortunate because
They were, but they left.
not a problem. Okay, you know what? I've learned in this position, I've learned running a company, I've learned raising 7 kids. I'm not going to please everybody. I'm just going to do this right now. I make a motion for a negative deck seeker determination on this proposed cell tower site. That's my motion.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye?
Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Councilman Cahill.
Nay.
Councilwoman Wynn. Nay. Councilwoman Wright.
Aye.
Supervisor, before you move on, I would just advise on that seeker declaration, you would have to discuss the environmental impacts of this application and build a record to issue a negative declaration.
Okay. Non-pro-tunc. I don't want to waste these people's times, all right? We'll get to that. My next motion is to approve the lease as written between the town of Webster's landlord and Verizon as tenant on the site at Creekside. That's my motion.
Second.
Supervisor Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilwoman Cataldi.
Aye.
Councilman Cahill.
Nay.
Councilwoman Wynn.
Nay, and I would like to, first of all, explain my vote too. I wanted to first thank you, everybody here, to come in and voice your opinions peacefully and passionately for the past couple weeks. We hear you, I heard you, and I heard your concern and your passion. So my vote is no, and just to let you know that you have somebody that listens to your voices.
Councilwoman Wright. No.
Okay, guess what? It's over. It is over. Now, Attorney Daly, I apologize, your billable hours are over. But you'll find another client, don't worry. Okay, now, since it is done, and I want everybody to understand this, that site is gone, all right? Now, Verizon is going to go out in that, keep the packet I gave you, They're gonna go out in that area, they're gonna find a private landowner, and they're gonna come back here in a month or two, and they are going to do the same application, but on that site, okay? Because, as you see from your handouts, there is low coverage and capacity in that area, and they basically have their marching orders, FCC, they have to go fill it. So that's gonna happen for the, if you think that there isn't gonna be something coming back to the planning board in that particular area, I would be surprised if it doesn't, because I think Verizon's made it crystal clear to us that that is an area that they are looking for. So, with that being said, let's do the open to the 5 minutes.
Okay, before we do that,
Okay.
Keith, to your point with respect to the negative declaration on the seeker, is there additional verbiage that we need to add to this meeting with respect to that?
No, at this point, that seeker motion, although the negative declaration was issued in the larger context, as it was for the purpose of approving this lease, and it's now a moot point.
Okay.
Because I have significant issues with this.
Yeah. Well, guess what? The significant issue is one, and there is no tower going in at the Creekside site.